Most monsters in history are easy to spot. They wear uniforms or live in the shadows. But in 1939, a monster walked into an Iowa orphanage carrying a clipboard and a smile. He didn't want their lives, he wanted their voices. You are looking at the Soldiers and Sailors Orphans Home. To the 22 children inside, Dr. Wendell Johnson was a savior. He was there to cure. Instead, he would conduct an experiment so ethically hollow that his own university would hide the records for 6 decades. They called it the Monster Study, not because of the children, but because of the man who led it. To understand why Johnson did this, you have to understand his own pain. Johnson was a severe stutterer. In the 1930s, the medical consensus was that stuttering was a physical defect, a hitch in the brain or the tongue. But Johnson had a radical theory. He believed stuttering was diagnosogenic. In plain English, he believed children only stutter because adults tell them they are stuttering. Stuttering begins not in the child's mouth, he famously said, but in the parent's ear. To prove this, he needed a blank slate. He needed children who were wards of the state, children with no parents to intervene when the experiments turned dark. Enter Mary Tudor. She was Johnson's 22-year-old graduate student. She was the one who actually sat in the rooms with these children. They chose 22 orphans. 10 of them were already stutterers. 12 were normal speakers. They were split into 2 groups, the positive group and the negative group. In the positive group, the message was, "You will outgrow this. You speak beautifully." But for the 10 normal-speaking children in the negative group, the instructions given to Mary Tudor were chilling. Tell them in no uncertain terms that they are stutterers. Correct them. Make them self-conscious. Don't let them speak unless they do it perfectly. Let's talk about the victims. 5-year-old Mary Korlaske. Before the study, she was a chatty, happy child. After just a few weeks of being told her speech was shameful, she stopped speaking entirely. When she did speak, she whispered, covering her mouth with her hand. Then there was 12-year-old Hazel Potter. She became so anxious that she started snapping her fingers and stomping her feet just to get a word out, a physical tic created by the sheer terror of being criticized. This wasn't just mean behavior. This was a systematic destruction of a child's confidence. The children began to fear the very act of communication. In an orphanage, where your voice is the only thing you truly own, they were being rendered silent. Why did this stay secret? In 1945, the world learned about the Nazi medical experiments. The Nuremberg Code was created to ensure informed consent. Johnson realized that his work looked terrifyingly similar to the science being condemned in Germany. If the public found out that an American professor had intentionally broken orphans to prove a point, his career would be over. He buried the thesis. It was never published in a peer-reviewed journal. It became a ghost story whispered in the halls of the University of Iowa, the monster study that everyone knew about, but no one dared to show. Decades passed. The orphans grew up. Most lived lives of quiet isolation, struggling with social anxiety and speech blocks that never truly went away. In 2001, a reporter for the San Jose Mercury News broke the story. The university was forced to confront its past. One survivor, Mary Korlaske, the little girl who stopped talking at age 5, wrote a letter to Mary Tudor years later. She didn't ask for money. She asked, "Why did you do this to us?" In 2007, the state of Iowa paid $1.2 million to the survivors, but you can't buy back 60 years of silence. Wendell Johnson's theory was actually proven correct. Labels can shape a person. But in proving it, he became the very thing he feared, a man who silenced the world.